The rain was relentless as I made my way up the overgrown path to Ravenswood Manor. The mansion stood atop a hill, its imposing silhouette obscured by the stormy clouds. Lightning streaked across the sky, illuminating the broken windows and decaying facade. A feeling of unease settled in my chest as I pushed open the heavy, creaking door. Inside, the air was thick with the musty scent of neglect. The grand foyer was adorned with faded wallpaper and a dusty chandelier that swayed slightly in the draft. My flashlight's feeble beam barely pierced the darkness, casting eerie shadows on the peeling walls. I had come to Ravenswood Manor seeking inspiration for my music compositions, drawn by the stories of a pianist who had once lived here. The tale went that Eleanor Ravenswood had been a prodigious talent, her melodies said to hold an otherworldly beauty. But tragedy struck when her hands were crippled in a mysterious accident, shattering her dreams and leading her to a reclusive life within the manor. As I explored further, I found a grand piano in what appeared to be a music room. The instrument was covered in a thin layer of dust, its keys yellowed with age. As I brushed off the dust and sat down, a cold gust of wind swept through the room, carrying with it a haunting whisper of a melody. With trembling fingers, I began to play, a tentative, uncertain tune. But as I played, the melody seemed to take on a life of its own, filling the room with a haunting beauty that sent shivers down my spine. It was as if the very essence of Eleanor lingered in the air, guiding my hands across the keys. As the last notes faded, I felt a presence behind me. I turned, my heart racing, and saw a woman's figure, translucent and ethereal, standing in the doorway. Her eyes held a mixture of sadness and longing as she reached out toward the piano. "Eleanor?" I whispered, hardly daring to believe it. She nodded, her form flickering like a candle in the wind. Her fingers brushed against the keys, and a melody flowed from them, a melody that echoed the one I had just played but with a depth of emotion that brought tears to my eyes. Her story poured forth in the music, the accident that had shattered her hands, the isolation that had consumed her, and the unfulfilled dreams that had bound her spirit to Ravenswood Manor. The piano became a conduit for her feelings, her phantom fingers dancing across the keys with a grace that defied her tragic fate. As the last note hung in the air, her form began to fade, the melody itself carrying her away. But at that moment, I felt a surge of determination. I would honor Eleanor's memory, share her music with the world, and help her find the peace she so desperately craved. Days turned into weeks as I transcribed her melodies, pouring my heart and soul into the compositions. With each note, I could feel Eleanor's presence, a guiding force that brought the music to life. And as I played her compositions for an audience, I could sense her gratitude and joy filling the room. One stormy night, as I sat at the grand piano, I felt a warmth envelop me. Eleanor's form materialized beside me, her smile radiant. "Thank you," she whispered, her voice a gentle breeze. Tears welled up in my eyes as I nodded. "Thank you for sharing your gift with me." With a final, graceful touch of the keys, Eleanor's form dissipated, leaving behind a sense of serenity that filled the room. Ravenswood Manor seemed to sigh, its restless spirit finally finding solace. And so, the melodies of Ravenswood Manor continue to echo through time, a testament to the power of music and the bond that can transcend life and death.